What is WCAG and why is it important? An introduction to Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. The power of the web is in its universality. Access by everyone regardless of disability is an essential aspect. In this video, we will present the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, sometimes known as WCAG or WCAG for short. We will introduce the conformance levels and the 4 principles that govern WCAG 2.1. At the end, we will also give some examples of the guidelines in WCAG 2.1. Let's start! Web Content Accessibility Guidelines cover the information in a website, including text, images, forms, and other media. WCAG started out as some basic requirements for accessible content. As needs and technologies have changed, updated versions have been released. Version 2.0 is incorporated by reference into many other standards, primarily at government level. Version 2.1 builds on this with 17 further success criteria, including mobile interfaces, supporting cognitive impairments, responsive design, and supporting users with low vision. The WCAG guidelines are organized around 3 levels of conformance: Level A, Level AA, and Level AAA. Level AA is the most common level specified in government and organizational standards and requirements. It is also the common level specified in lawsuits, settlements, and structured agreements. The guidelines are organized around 4 core principles: perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. If any of these are not met, users with disabilities will be unable to use a site or application. Perceivable. Information and user interface components must be presentable to users in ways they can perceive. This means that users must be able to perceive the information being presented. It cannot be invisible to all of their senses. Operable. User interface components and navigation must be operable. This means that users must be able to operate the interface and its controls. The interface cannot require interaction that a user cannot perform. Understandable. Information and the operation of the user interface must be understandable. This means that users must be able to understand the information as well as the operation of the user interface. The content or operation cannot be beyond their understanding. Robust. Content must be robust enough that it can be interpreted reliably by a wide variety of user agents, including assistive technologies. This means that users must be able to access the content as technologies advance. As technologies and user agents evolve, the content should remain accessible. Each of these 4 principles has a corresponding set of guidelines. There are 12 in total for WCAG 2.0 and 13 in total for WCAG 2.1, including text alternatives, time-based media, adaptable, distinguishable, keyboard accessible, enough time, seizures, navigable, input modalities, readable, predictable, input assistance, and compatibility. Each guideline has success criteria which address important access issues that specifically impact people with disabilities. They are all testable and for either A, AA, or AAA conformance level. Let's summarize. WCAG is a standard that defines how to make web pages accessible. It is broken into 4 principles: perceivable, operable, understandable, and robust. The success criteria that make up the guidelines are organized by these principles. Each success criterion's level of conformance is defined by A, AA, or AAA. Government and corporate requirements generally adhere to AA conformance. Congratulations! You have reached the end of this introductory video on WCAG.